What if I told you that one of the most powerful ways to rebuild muscle after 60 isn't found in a pill, a powder, or a protein shake, but in something soft, sweet, and already sitting quietly in your kitchen? You might be surprised to hear this, but there are fruits that don't just slow down muscle loss, they actually help reverse it. And the most powerful fruit of all, the one with the strongest scientific support, is coming at the end of this video. The one my patients ask about most. So please stay with me because you won't want to miss it. Now let me ask you something personal. Have you felt it? That moment when lifting something light feels heavier than it used to. When walking up the stairs leaves you just a little winded, when your balance, your posture, and your overall strength don't quite feel like you anymore. Have you noticed these subtle changes in your body? That quiet shift isn't in your imagination. It's something called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, and it starts earlier than most people think. Slowly, gradually, it chips away at your independence, your energy, and your ease of movement. And yet many of us simply accept it as just part of getting older. But what if we didn't? What if we could nourish our muscles naturally with real food that helps the body recover, repair, and even grow stronger again? Today, I will personally guide you through 5 powerful fruits that are not only easy to find and delicious to eat, but also supported by solid science. Each one plays a different role, fighting inflammation, supporting recovery, boosting strength, and improving mobility. And best of all, they're safe, gentle, and perfectly suited for adults over 60. From the creamy green fruit that soothes inflammation to the tart red juice that eases soreness while you sleep, and finally the unassuming household fruit that quietly holds one of the most exciting secrets for muscle growth in older age. We'll explore them one by one. Are you ready? Let's begin. Your first new ally in strength may already be in your fridge. Let me tell you about one of the quietest heroes in your kitchen. It's soft green and probably something you've already enjoyed on toast. But this simple fruit might be one of your strongest allies in preserving muscle and aging with strength. I'm talking about the avocado. Have you ever considered the health benefits of avocados beyond their reputation for being heart healthy? Now you may have heard that avocados are heart healthy, and they certainly are. But for older adults like us, their benefits go even deeper. As we grow older, our bodies become more prone to silent inflammation, the kind that doesn't cause visible pain, but slowly weakens your muscles from the inside out. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, which help soothe that inflammation gently, like cooling a hidden fire that's been quietly burning. But the benefits don't stop there. Avocados are also rich in potassium, surprisingly even more so than bananas. Do you know why that matters? Because potassium is essential for proper muscle contraction. It works hand in hand with magnesium, another mineral avocados contain to help prevent painful cramps and support steady muscle function. This duo keeps your body in rhythm, your heart beating smoothly, your legs moving confidently, and your balance steady and sure. Then comes vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant found in avocados. Think of it as your muscle's bodyguard. It shields muscle cells from the wear and tear of daily life, protecting you from oxidative stress, the very stress that slowly eats away at strength over time. And for those managing blood sugar or heart concerns, here's more good news. Avocados are low in sugar, contain 0 cholesterol, and provide lasting energy without the crashes that come from processed snacks. I remember one of my patients, Linda, 73, who used to wake up with painful leg cramps nearly every night. Her daughter encouraged her to add just half an avocado to her breakfast. I didn't think much of it, Linda told me. But after 2 weeks, I was sleeping through the night, and my morning walks actually felt enjoyable. Have you experienced similar issues with leg cramps or muscle discomfort? Now it's her daily ritual, a slice of avocado on whole grain toast topped with a sprinkle of sesame seeds and a squeeze of lemon. Simple, nourishing, and powerful. And that's the beauty of the avocado. It's incredibly versatile. You can mash it onto toast, Slice it into a salad, or blend it into a smoothie with almond milk and spinach for a muscle-friendly breakfast. Some folks even whip it into a creamy avocado chocolate pudding. Yes, dessert can be medicine too. The key here is consistency. Just a small amount of avocado each day can help soothe inflammation, nourish your muscles, and keep your body moving with grace. And remember, healthy aging isn't about doing everything at once. It's about small, steady habits that build resilience over time. Now that we've welcomed something smooth and soothing into your routine, it's time to introduce a fruit that's bold tart and ready to ease those morning aches that make you hesitate before your feet even touch the floor. Have you ever woken up feeling like your legs have turned to stone overnight? Or have you sat still for just a short while, only to stand and feel your knees creak or your shoulders groan? That stiffness, so familiar yet so frustrating, often becomes more common as we age. But tucked inside a bright red fruit is a gentle answer to that morning soreness. Enter the tart cherry. Now, this isn't the sweet cherry you might snack on during summer picnics. Tart cherries are their tanger cousins, often found in juice or dried form. But don't let their sour flavor fool you. Inside, they're bursting with compounds called anthocyanins, natural antioxidants with powerful anti-inflammatory effects. What does that mean for your muscles? Everything. As we grow older, our bodies tend to carry low-grade inflammation like a constant hum in the background. It's not always painful, but over time it wears away. At our joints, tightens our muscles, and slows down recovery. Tart cherries help calm that internal storm. Think of them as a cooling breeze brushing away the heat of that inflammation. In fact, research has shown that tart cherry juice can significantly reduce muscle soreness and speed up recovery after physical activity, even in people who aren't athletes. If it can help runners bounce back after marathons, imagine what it can do for someone simply trying to stay active, walk the dog, or climb a few stairs with ease. I recall Martin, a 69-year-old widower who loved gardening but dreaded the stiffness afterward. After adding a small glass of tart cherry juice to his nightly routine, he told me, "Doc, it's like I've given my body permission to heal while I sleep." The morning aches faded, and he returned to planting without wincing. Have you ever felt that soreness after a favorite hobby or activity? And that brings us to another gift tart cherries offer: natural melatonin. Many older adults struggle with sleep, falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking too early. Tart cherries contain melatonin, the very hormone your brain uses to regulate your sleep cycle. Just one small glass of pure tart cherry juice in the evening can help improve both the quality and duration of your sleep. And why is sleep so important for muscles? Because during deep rest, your body gets to work. It repairs damaged muscle fibers, reduces inflammation, and restores energy levels. Sleep is when your muscles rebuild. Supporting it naturally means you're giving your body the chance to strengthen quietly, night after night. If juice isn't your style, don't worry. You can also try dried tart cherries sprinkled over oatmeal or yogurt, or even take them as a capsule. Just make sure the juice is 100% pure with no added sugars. Those extras can cancel out the very benefits you're aiming for. Of course, as with any change, check in with your doctor, especially if you're on medication. But for most people, tart cherry is a safe, gentle, and delicious way to reduce pain and support recovery one sip at a time. Next, we'll explore a fruit that looks like a cluster of sparkling red gems. Inside those jewels lies something quite extraordinary for your muscles and your energy. Picture this. You hold a pomegranate in your hand, and as you cut it open, hundreds of tiny crimson jewels spill out. Each one glistens with promise. Inside, there's more than just flavor. There lies a remarkable power for your aging muscles. Pomegranates have been treasured since ancient times for their healing properties, but only recently have we come to understand just how important they can be for muscle health, especially for adults over 60 who want to stay strong, active, and energized. Let's start with something that affects almost all of us as we age: fatigue. Not just the tiredness you feel after a long day, but that persistent weariness that seems to settle deep in your muscles after even simple tasks. Have you ever experienced this kind of persistent fatigue? One of the reasons is a process called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is like rust slowly forming inside the body. It damages your muscle fibers at the cellular level, leaving you feeling worn out and slow to recover. But pomegranates are loaded with antioxidants, particularly polyphenols like punicalagin, that actively fight that internal rust, protecting your muscles from breakdown and keeping them functioning at their best. Even more impressive is what pomegranates do for your blood flow. They boost nitric oxide levels in the body, which helps your blood vessels relax and widen. The result: better circulation. And that means more oxygen and nutrients are delivered straight to your muscle tissues, fueling them during movement and helping them recover faster after physical activity. I once had a patient, Evelyn, 74, who struggled with simple household chores. "I just feel drained after doing the laundry," she admitted. We talked about blood flow and recovery, and she began drinking a small glass of pomegranate juice a few times a week. Within a month, she said she was walking through her day without feeling like she needed to sit down every 10 minutes. "It's like my body's engine is running cleaner," she joked. And she wasn't wrong. In one clinical study, older adults who consumed pomegranate extract before exercising reported better endurance and less muscle fatigue. Another study even showed a reduction in post-exercise soreness, which is especially important for those of us who want to stay active but dread the aches that follow. But that's not all. Pomegranates also support your mitochondria, tiny energy factories inside every muscle cell. Stronger mitochondria mean your muscles can produce energy more efficiently, giving you more stamina and helping you avoid that drained feeling after even light activity. So how can you enjoy pomegranate without overdoing it? You have two easy options. One, drink 100% pure pomegranate juice with no added sugars in small amounts. Just 4 to 6 ounces is enough. Or two, eat the seeds themselves, called arils. You can toss them onto a salad, stir them into yogurt, or even eat them by the spoonful as a refreshing snack. They're slightly tart, crunchy, and loaded with fiber, which adds digestive and blood sugar benefits too. Remember, it's not about gulping a full glass every day. It's about adding small, meaningful habits to your routine that gently support your health. With pomegranate in your corner, you're not just feeding your body, you're fueling your strength. And speaking of strength, our next fruit may surprise you. It's wrinkled, it's brown, and many people think it's only good for digestion. But in truth, it holds one of the most powerful secrets to muscle preservation after 60. Let's unwrap it together. At first glance, prunes might not seem like the obvious choice in a conversation about muscle strength. With their dark, wrinkled skin and reputation as a digestion aid, they're often overlooked or even dismissed as old-fashioned. But let me share a quiet truth. Beneath that humble exterior lies one of the most powerful natural defenders against muscle loss. Prunes are dried plums packed with a unique combination of antioxidants, polyphenols, and nutrients that help protect your muscles from age-related breakdown. And when we're talking about people over 60, these benefits are not just helpful, they're essential. As we age, the balance between muscle breakdown and muscle repair starts to shift. Our bodies become less efficient at holding on to strength, especially when inflammation and oxidative stress are left unchecked. Prunes help tip that scale back in your favor. They contain compounds like chlorogenic acid, nucleogenic acid, and rutin-strong anti-inflammatory agents that shield your muscle tissue from silent damage. These antioxidants don't just slow muscle breakdown, they actively protect the joints and connective tissues that allow your muscles to move freely. But here's the most exciting part. Prunes may actually stimulate muscle growth by encouraging the release of a hormone called IGF-1, or insulin-like growth factor. This hormone plays a key role in building and maintaining muscle mass. One lab study even showed that prune extracts helped muscle cells grow larger and increased protein synthesis, the process your body uses to repair and strengthen muscle tissue. Now think about that. A simple dried fruit, something you can store in a jar, right on your kitchen counter, could be helping your body build strength, even in your later years. I remember Margaret, a bright and witty 75-year-old who told me she had always been skeptical about prunes. "Aren't those just for bathroom troubles?" she laughed. But after adding 5 prunes to her breakfast each morning, she called me 3 weeks later. "My knees don't creak as much after my walks, and I don't feel as wiped out by the afternoon," she said. "It's like someone oiled the hinges." There's science behind her experience. Prunes are one of the best natural sources of boron, a trace mineral that helps your body better utilize calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, all of which are essential for both muscle and bone strength. This is especially important for older adults, since muscle weakness and osteoporosis often go hand in hand. Let's not forget another gift. Prunes offer soluble fiber. It not only supports digestive health, but also helps stabilize blood sugar and cholesterol. That means more consistent energy throughout the day. No more mid-morning crashes or sluggish afternoons. And best of all, prunes are incredibly easy to add to your daily life. You can eat them straight from the bag, chop them into your oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or mix them with nuts to create a soft, chewy energy ball. They're naturally sweet, but have a low glycemic index, making them a safe option, even for those managing diabetes when eaten in moderation. So yes, while prunes might not be flashy or trendy, they are quietly powerful. And sometimes it's the most unassuming foods that carry the deepest strength. Now let's move on to one of the most familiar fruits of all, one you've likely eaten since childhood. But what you might not know is that inside its colorful peel hides a natural compound that could help you rebuild muscle, one crisp bite at a time. You've likely heard it since you were a child. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. But what if I told you that same apple could help keep muscle loss away too? This simple, familiar fruit hides a quiet secret in its skin, a powerful plant compound called ursolic acid. And while the name might sound scientific, its impact is anything but distant. Ursolic acid has been shown to help stimulate muscle growth and reduce the breakdown of muscle tissue, particularly in older adults. This means that eating an apple, especially with the peel, is more than just a tasty snack. It's a small act of protection for your muscles, your balance, and your independence. In one animal study, researchers found that ursolic acid helped build muscle and reduce fat, even in situations where the body would normally be losing strength. And early human research is promising too. Ursolic acid seems to increase levels of IGF-1, the same hormone we discussed with prunes, which plays a vital role in muscle repair and growth. But it doesn't stop there. Apples also contain quercetin, a powerful antioxidant that supports your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside every muscle cell. When those mitochondria are working well, your muscles recover faster, resist fatigue longer, and perform better during even the simplest tasks. Think of it like tuning up your car's engine. With stronger mitochondria, you can walk farther, lift groceries more easily, and enjoy hobbies like gardening or dancing without feeling wiped out afterward. I still remember Mr. Henry, a 79-year-old retired teacher who never skipped his daily walk around the block. When we talked about muscle strength and aging, he smiled and pulled an apple from his pocket. "I eat one of these every afternoon, skin and all," he said. "It keeps me regular, sure, but I think it also keeps me moving." And he's not wrong. Apples are also rich in pectin, a type of soluble fiber that helps regulate blood sugar and reduce inflammation, both of which play a subtle but important role in muscle performance. A healthier gut leads to better nutrient absorption, which means your body gets more of the vitamins and minerals it needs to keep your muscles nourished. Another advantage: apples are easy to fit into your daily routine. You can slice them into your oatmeal, pair them with almond butter for a protein-rich snack, or simply munch on one in the afternoon instead of reaching for something processed or sugary. But there's one important tip I always share. Don't peel your apples. The majority of that ursolic acid lives in the skin, so wash them well, go organic if you can, and enjoy them whole. And if you're watching your blood sugar, you're in luck. Despite their natural sweetness, apples have a low glycemic index, especially when eaten with the peel and paired with a bit of protein or healthy fat. They give you a steady stream of energy without the crash. Even more encouraging research from the University of Iowa found that ursolic acid didn't just help muscles, it also improved glucose control and reduced fat buildup. That's a triple win for healthy aging. So the next time you reach for a snack, consider the humble apple. Crisp, juicy, and portable, it's a tiny powerhouse wrapped in red, green, or gold, one that's been quietly nourishing generations, and maybe just what your muscles need today. Now that we've explored these 5 remarkable fruits, each one with its own unique power, it's time to bring it all together. Because this journey isn't just about information. It's about inspiration, about the strength that still lives within you. Let's reflect together in this final part. Let's pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and look back at what we've just uncovered. Because these aren't just facts, and they're not just fruits. They're your quiet allies, your daily partners in strength, in movement, in feeling like yourself again. Avocados with their creamy richness soothe inflammation and nourish tired muscles with good fats and essential minerals. Tart cherries, small and bold, ease the soreness that creeps in after simple movements and gift you a more restful sleep to help your body rebuild overnight. Pomegranates bursting with ruby red seeds improve circulation and protect your muscles from wear and tear with every drop. Prunes with their wrinkled sweetness awaken the body's ability to grow stronger, even at 74 or 75, and gently support your bones and digestion. And apples, the most familiar of them all, deliver strength in every bite through ursolic acid and fiber-rich skin that has long been underestimated. These aren't exotic or expensive ingredients. They're already waiting for you at your local grocery store, tucked among the shelves you've passed by 100 times. But now you know their potential. Now you see them not just as snacks, but as daily tools for restoring what time has taken and protecting what still belongs to you. You see, muscle loss doesn't announce itself with loud warning signs. It comes quietly, a little more stiffness in the morning, a bit more hesitation to carry the laundry, a sense that your body is changing and slowing. But let me be clear, slowing down is not the same as giving up. I've met so many older adults, patients, neighbors, friends, who thought weakness was inevitable until they added just 1 or 2 small habits: a handful of prunes with breakfast, a slice of avocado on toast, a crisp apple in the afternoon sun. And slowly, steadily, things changed. They felt stronger, slept better, and moved more confidently. It wasn't about chasing youth. It was about honoring their age and giving their body what it quietly needed all along. So if you've been feeling a bit more tired, a bit more sore, a bit less like yourself, please know this. You are not alone, and you are not powerless. Your strength isn't gone. It's waiting ready to be rekindled with each nourishing bite, each simple choice, each moment of care you offer yourself. And the beauty of it all. You don't need a personal trainer, a supplement routine, or a long to-do list. You just need the will to begin and a little fruit in your hand. Every apple you crunch into, every sip of cherry juice before bed, every spoonful of pomegranate. These are not just routines. They're small declarations. I am still building strength. I am still here, and I still matter. So let's grow stronger naturally. Let's move with grace, with wisdom, and with joy. And if today's message resonated with you, if it gave you something to think about, or something to try. Please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up. Share it with a friend who might need a little encouragement. And if you'd like more gentle, trustworthy guidance on how to feel better and live fuller after 60, consider subscribing to Caring Years Health. This channel is here to support you week after week, fruit by fruit, step by step. You're not alone on this journey. You're stronger than you think. Until next time, take care of yourself, both body and soul.